At home, he dressed comfortable. But when he go out, he take it off and he wear the rag. And put the more smelly things upon himself. And Father never really seldom speak to the outside. That was Father's youth. And you cannot figure out unless you heard this sermon this morning. Father loved labor life. Always go to the poor people dwelling place, like a Harlem in Japan, Harlem in Korea, and Father mingle with the poor people. They never show up among the what they call elite society. There are many people, many friends respect Father, and still Father has many following. At that time, Father go and really work hard in the labor, the stock labor, for example, and earn the money, pay their tuition. And Father knew, therefore, Father knew exactly how the mentality work out there in the satanic world. No one can just really deceive Father. No way. The world surely do not know what kind of tribulations they experience the Father passing through in order to come up to this far. What the move? No one know out there. It is not easy to be recognized by God, who can give you an unqualified statement saying, indeed, you love me first. This kind of statement coming from God is not going to be easy.
그리고 내가 기도를 하더라도 원수의 많았지만 하나님은 원수를 갚았으나 기도 못한다.
And also Father prayed a lot, that's for sure. But Father never prayed for the revenge against his own enemy. Never prayed for the misfortune for his enemy. Father always prayed forgiveness for his enemy. God forgive them.
내가 그를 위해서 할 수 있는 일을 해서 그에게 하나님은 모든 일을
And in order to indemnify my enemy's sin, if there's anything I can do for him, God, my Father in heaven, please let me do it. Let me pay his own indemnity so that he can come out of it. So this is Father's way of life. You remember in 422 at the rally, Father Square. Do you remember Father declared that Father is creating the alliances, minority alliances for civil rights. Did you hear that? Do you think that is needed? Yes. Why do we need that? By doing it, do you think Reverend Moon will become elevated and the Unification Church become wealthier by doing it? That's the purpose? Or are we doing it? Yes or no? On the contrary, Reverend Moon take the road of sacrifice. Unification Church take the road of sacrifice. However, on our sacrifice, these people, multitude of oppressed people, needy people, poor people, and the misunderstood people shall live. There will be a central location, central hall, gathering places. The Father is really launching, not just by word, but by deed, the Minority Alliance for the Civil Rights Movement in America. And we'll soon have a public announcement. And Father is really moving our movement forward to be a spearhead, to lead the crusade for the entire oppressed people and disregarded people here in America.
괜히 지금까지 이러면서 저 어두운 길 걸어내 그걸 알고 싶을 거다. 그렇지?
So then, you are looking at Reverend Moon, Father, and what kind of, way of life he trod. You want to know about him, don't you?
선생님들 청춘시대 너희들 같은 참 발랄하고 심하게 복탄 그 청춘시대가 있었겠냐 없었겠냐.
What about? Do you think Father was a young day like you, and Father has gone through a teenaging ages period, or not? He was just born 62 years old. What do you think? He has that?
그때는 어떻겠느냐, 그때는 어떻겠느냐.
Then think about Father. Picture Father, age of 16, age of 17. What Father was thinking, what he was doing.
그때 내가 이 뜻을 알기 전부터 생각하면 동네면 동네에 있어서의 불쌍한 사람의 친구가 같다는 생각이었어요.
Even before Father conceived or given the mission for the salvation of the world, this incredible mission that he undertook, even before he comes to the realization of such mission, he always has a heart that I want to become a friend of suffering people in my village, in my town. Poor people. I want to become a friend to everybody.
아이들이 그래도 잘 살고 그 동네에서 주선 그 아들은 잘 출발하라고 했다. 반대 출발 반대 생각했다.
So in Father's boyhood, there was the rich boys, very arrogant boys. They always got the hard time from Father. But on the other hand, Father always embraced what those people need. Those who are suffering, those who are chastised.
동네에서 어렵게 살고 밥을 먹는 사람인데 내가 잠을 못 자서 무슨 뜻을 해도 그걸 해결해 준 거다.
Father knows sometime information that certain house has no money to buy any grocery and there's completely starved to death. Then Father declared the emergency to himself, even as a boy. He's just doing everything possible to bring the food somehow. Without it, he cannot go to bed. No way. So that job is finished.
그래가지고 모든 사람의 친구지. 모든 사람의 친구 이상의 길을 가야 된다.
So, Father wants to become a universal friend to everybody. And also, he wants to become a friend to serve, sacrificially serve. So that just not just a friend, he wants to be in a position to be respected.
30전에 너희들에서는 좋은 옷 입고 자기 아주 자기 모습을 드러내고 싶고 미남이 되고 싶고 미녀가 되고 싶고 그렇지?
Between age 20, 30, this is your prime youth. Dress well, eat well, appear well, deal with people well. That's normally that age, 20 to 30. So your age. But Father gone exactly the opposite. He did not want to show him off. He never wear the new dress, new suit. Always go to the thrifty shop, surplus store, and buy the second hand, the army jacket, with the hole, with the grease, the spot. So the hair, all drop, like that.
그렇게 하면서 자기가
But meantime, Father was so busy doing his own thing. Own thing means the mission. In those days, Father spoke very little, very little, seldom spoke. But Father knew if I speak, that no one can compete with him. No one can even debate with him. No way that anybody can debate with him. But he's just determined to be silent. So to look very dumb, look very unassuming, below average. You look.
그래서 청춘시에 따라가면서 빈민이 굴러서부터 노동팔이로부터 안 되게 만든 것다. 고집을까지 좀
And that those young youth period, the most golden time, prime time of his youth, The father spending every day experiencing the most desperate, most miserable human life there is. Labor camp, go to the mining, go to beggar camp, dock workers, and the farmers, and the coal miners. Going those places, experiencing, learning them, and trying to comfort them.
이 사창구를 깔고
Studied every aspect of human life, even including a prostitution mentality. Why women? Why men go to prostitution? Why women become a prostitute? He's studying all these miseries of human aspects.
전차 같은 거 타고 아무튼 성서들이 전차 타들 하게 된단 말이야. 보통 사람들 보면 학생 시대에도 학생을 입어서 수시면은 저 비오는 날 같은데 축축한 노동자의 반응이지. 냄새는 데가.
When father was studying in Tokyo, there was a tram car, like San Francisco, a tram car. He ride a tram car, and they're always looking for where the most miserable person is, where the most smelly person is sitting. He always go there, even rainy day particularly. Rainy day, everybody so wet and even more smelly and so forth. Always sit right beside him, and become a friend with him.
무슨 생각을 이분이 내 형님이야 내 어머니 아버지였던
He always thinks, father always thinks, what if this man is my elder brother? What if this man is my father? What should I do?
나를 위해서. 나를 위해서 이렇게 비참한 상태에 서 있던 놈 알려줄 거야.
Particularly, my father, my brother, he is in a miserable position because of me. Particularly, he is suffering because of me. Then what if? That is the case. What should I do? He's always put himself in that analysis.
그러고 볼 때 전차 가운데 한국 학생들 가운데 저 하체리고 학생 잘났다는 그 여학생 남학생들 바라보는 바라보는
And there, when father was at college days, looking at other college students, men and women, they're just laugh and smile and speak loud, and their behavior. Father's observing. Father was in the same position. They're a student, father was a student.
너희들의 웃음결은 너희 청춘이 흘러가고 너희 일생이 흘러가지만 내가 신물하고 침울한 여생각 가운데는 내 일생이 빛을 날 것이고 장래의 희망의 사체이라 희망의 태양이 떠오른다고 생각합니다.
Father compared himself with those laughing youngsters. Your laughter will be in vain. There's nothing behind the laughter. It'll go away like a day smoke. But when in my silence, in my meditation, there shall be some future. There shall be new day, new hope for the suffering mankind for the future. That's the way Father thought.
희망이 미래가 고정되고 희망이 있지만은 미래와 희망은
in your gay, joyful, gay, and the most, just happy and laughter. There's no tomorrow, no hope, no nothing of any promising for the future. But here, I'm looking at this miserable person, sitting side by side with him, sharing his suffering with me. I'm thinking for this kind of people. I'm meditating, and I'm looking for the future. I'm looking for the solution. Hope must come. The future, the hope of the world must come from here. Father knew that.
일생 동안 다스리는 부모, 참부모의 말을, 참부모의 이름을 세운다는 것이 얼마나 어떤 사실인지.
I want you to understand. To really make the word the true parent stand. Stand its own qualification. That is not going to be easy. That is not easy task.
모든 사람의 주체성을 지닐 수 있는 내 자식을
When you say true parent, that's for the sake of the mankind, not for themselves. So, Father said, therefore, the true parent position is always subject position. But you should have the qualification to be subject. In other words, you should be in a position to satisfy all the needs of the mankind. The number one qualification as a true parent is take the suffering humanity. This is what Father did the entire youth. going to poor laborers and the working places, miserable places, poor home and miserably in a poverty-stricken area, and then middle class, then high class. Father has to experience everything.
인간에 닿을 수 있는 깊은 골짜기를 찾아 헤매면서 이 길게차게 나오는 그 대표적인 사람인 것은 틀림없다는 것을
So throughout Father's life, he was a pioneer. No question. Incredible pioneer. Unprecedented pioneer. The path that never existed. Never even thought of. In order to do that, he was a lonely battle, engaged in a lonely battle, and doing every day of fighting. And the struggle, the experiencing, and in tears and in sweat.
그런 길간 자체만으로도 그것이 동정할 수 있는 사람이지만은 그 길을 가는 데 있어서 핍박이 가진 데 있던 사람.
That task alone is untold suffering, untold difficulty. But on top of that, there was another aspect of it. There was a persecution on top of it. Persecution, discrimination. Well, inevitable.
동네 자기 고향을 찾아가더라도 죄 없는 자신이 고향을 밤이나 낮이나 마음대로 찾아올 수 없는 사람이에요.
So even if he belonged to a certain village, there was a certain feelings amounting, and he cannot be freely in and out of his own home, his own town.
죄를 짓지 않았지만은,
of course he's not a criminal. Of course he had no crime committed. Yet there's certain feelings around, because Father is doing extraordinary things that people don't understand, that bring out the persecution.
저 사람은 뭐냐 공부나 해가지고 불황에 있어서의 불황을 살게 해주고 동네 좋게 해줄 수 있고 부모님 앞에 좋게 할 수 있는 전부 내 감옥으로 다 쳐내고 물들이 두.
Ordinarily, those heroes, the folk heroes, in your village, in your town, who learn well and do little things for the poor people in the village and serving this and that, bringing some glory to fame to the village. That's where you become a folk hero. But Father's scale is not just one village. Father thinking the nation, world, universe, and cosmic. In that respect, Father is going around one jail to another. So everybody will just laugh at him, finger pointed at him, even spit at him. So completely misunderstood. People never truly understand his motivation. Scorn. That was the trick.
어머니 아버지, 어머님의 삼어머님을 좋아했고 그래. 어머님은 내 얘기하고 그가 내 얘기하는 거야. 왜냐면 자기 조상 무덤 앞에 가서 기도하던 거 말해.
So only mother is the closest to understand Father. Therefore, of course, she doesn't understand everything.